Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. DOS here. So, I had the wonderful opportunity from Behavior to be able to take part in the early access showcase for the new Course of Sin chapter. I was able to play both the Judgment and Aurora. I teamed up with some fellow creators so that we can go ahead and showcase it in some custom games. And so the background footage that you're going to be seeing is from me playing Killer on that game. In this video, I really just wanted to talk about my thoughts on the chapter and my thoughts on the whole grimoire process. But I definitely want to hear what you guys think, what you guys have seen. For anyone who's curious as well, this content will be coming to the actual PTB, the public test build, on August 4th. So if you weren't able to make it into the early access with the Twitch drops, then you'll be able to go ahead and test it out on August 4th if you are a Steam player on PC. If not, the actual chapter itself will be coming out later on in the month. Specifically, it'll be released on August 25th. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the survivor, Aurora. Obviously, we voted on Aurora, and she is a older woman. I do like her design quite a lot. She has quite a few cosmetics in the build, which I can have show right here through my footage. It seems that there weren't any very rare outfits from what I can remember, but I do like her design quite a lot. And Aurora is a lot of fun. She's got a lot of voice lines. She interacts quite a lot in the trial, and she's one of the only survivors that actually mentions the entity. Now, obviously, we voted for the perks, but as a refresher for everyone, Aurora comes with her 3 teachable perks: Fruits of Your Labor. You earn tokens upon generator completion, and finishing a generator grants a temporary 5% haste boost for 2 seconds and a 20% healing progress per token. You have Salvation's Cry. This triggers when the killer starts chasing you, revealing the auras of other survivors while showing your aura and the killer's aura to non-chase survivors. And then finally, we have Boon Steadfast. When you bless a totem to create a boon, any generators in range regress 50% slower, and any survivors repairing them will repair them 10% faster. When I was going through the custom games, I liked Boon Steadfast. It seems to be the more stronger of her 3 perks, just because if you have, let's say, 3 survivors on a gen in that boon, on that same gen, that's 10% for each of them. That's a 30% faster repair in total. And having gens regress 50% slower is pretty big. That's going to counteract Ruin, Pop, or just general regression. But I did really, really like Salvation's Cry. I thought Salvation's Cry was pretty useful whenever somebody was using it, because it gave me good information when I'm on a gen to know, like, hey, they're over there. I can go ahead and finish working on this one and maybe rotate to this next one on the map. But overall, most of these perks weren't the ones that I voted for, but I do think they can have decent synergy, but they're not the best perks. Overall, I think Aurora is a really, really nice survivor. I like the design. I'm curious to see what cosmetics we're going to be getting for this survivor in the future. But then we move on to the Judgment. Now, the Judgment is a very, very interesting topic to go into, which has kind of caused a little bit of controversy and a little bit of issue. But first things first, the Judgment comes with their own 3 teachable perks, the first being Celestial Witness. Every 30 seconds, if the obsession is at least 40 meters away from you, you see their aura for 3 seconds. Otherwise, the farthest survivor becomes the obsession. Then she has Hex Under Your Thumb. The first time a survivor gains a hook state, a dull totem ignites. Whenever a running survivor gains haste within 32 meters of you, you are alerted. Running survivors cannot gain more than 15% haste at a time. And her final perk, Lay Waste. Whenever you damage a generator, for each charge it has, it regresses 2% faster. And the cooldown for this perk is 45 seconds. Overall, I'm not super enthused by these perks. I feel like if you're doing a Obsession Roulette build of Rancor, I think Celestial Witness would be a pretty good perk to run with that. If you're really worried about Sprint Burst and stuff along those lines, and you can do Hex Under Your Thumbs, that you get knowledge if somebody's just running somewhere and then they can't, use their sprint burst for as long as usual. But I definitely think the weakest one is probably Lay Waste. One that where just every time you damage generator, you for each charge it has, it regresses 2% faster. Now, this would be a better perk, in my opinion, if the cooldown was in 45 seconds. And with diminishing returns, you can't really pair this with stuff like Pop. But that's not the big issue that people are seeing with this killer. The big issue that people are seeing with this killer is her power. Her power is a bit clunky at start, and it's a little difficult to get used to. How it works is you have a beam in front of you. You have like a reticle, and then you have a second reticle in front of you. You would have seen it through the background footage that you're watching. And you can go and hit fire it out, and it'll go whichever direction that line is going, leading to the second reticle. So you can fire it in front of you, to the side, at a 45-degree angle, however you're aiming. The issue is it has a delay before it becomes a lethal hit, which means that the Judgment is really good to mid to long range, but struggles horrendously at close range. Throughout my time playing for Thursday and Friday, I had spent quite a bit of time looping Judgments, whether in the custom game I did with fellow creators or just in general lobbies, because I just kept myself close to the killer. I treated it like I was going against a killer like the Unknown, where you want to be right up in their face so you can't get hit by their power. You want to typically force the M1 with the Judgment. Now, the reason why the Judgment's power has gotten a bit of controversy is because it seems like she's a killer that's going to be terrible on console, on controller. Now, I don't know any controller players that were in the earlier access personally, but from what I had seen, the general consensus is it is really, really difficult to control the power and the aim and get the precision you need with thumbsticks. Now, obviously, we'll have to wait and see how this is when the actual PTB comes out, when more people take a crack at it, and when it comes out just to the full live servers, see how it does in the hands of people on console and just more people on controller. But in my first match as the Judgment, I struggled a lot. It took me a bit to understand how their power functioned, how you can get the lethal hit. And it was extremely odd. One good thing about her power, though, is it doesn't rely on levels of a map. So let's say you are on the game. If you are on the bottom level, your beam of light will hit anyone who's in front of you on the bottom or the top level. It doesn't matter. However, if you are on that top level, the beam of light will not go all the way down to the ground floor. It'll stay on the same level of the world that you are at. The beam also does travel up hills and stairs, stuff along those lines. And when you send a survivor to exile after you hit them with your power, or if they acquire heresy by sinning, you can send them off to exile, or as I like to call it, to Brazil. And then you get your second part of your power, which this is called your zealous mode. On your screen, next to your normal power square, you're going to get another square. And once you banish a survivor to exile, that will light up. And when you have your zealous mode, you are able to then aim your beam of light a little bit after you fire it. Gives you a little bit more control over it. Now, overall, I have a lot of fun playing against the Judgment, but I personally don't super enjoy playing as the Judgment. I am a bit worried how this is going to go over with the general populace. I've already seen quite a bit of negativity regarding the chapter, but we'll have to wait and see until it goes live. But I do want to also talk about this early access event that happened. I've been seeing a lot of opinions from both sides. I've seen people who have been extremely angry that there was an early access period and that everyone couldn't just play the content. And I've seen a lot of people confused and not understanding that there is going to be a PTB. And then I've seen people that have been understanding and have been like, hey, this is a great opportunity for these creators, and it's been really nice. I want to make this clear to everybody. There's no indication that this is something that Behavior is going to continue to do. They might do this for another chapter in the future. They might not. This was a first time thing. This is something that they wanted to do, and they wanted to include gold tier, the tier I'm in, for the first time one of these things, since typically it's only iridescent. Now, with that, they only included the first 250 people that signed up previously for this activation, and that led to a little bit of hostility with other creators. I do want to be clear to everybody that this isn't how things are going to be going moving forward. We're still going to be getting normal PTBs. We're most likely not going to be getting an early access period and then a PTB. This was simply just the chapter that we all created, and they wanted the community that had the creator community that has helped advertise the grimoire and make videos for it, be able to have a bit of a role in the actual release of it, which I think was great. Obviously, I was able to be a part of it, but even if I wasn't, I would have really enjoyed it, and I probably would have had people go watch somebody else who was a part of it, whether it was an iridescent creator or another gold creator. And it was a great opportunity for myself and others to be able to meet other creators and be able to expand our reach in our communities. I thought it was really, really, really nice of Behavior. But overall, I'm relatively excited for this chapter. I am hoping we get another grimoire chapter that we can vote on in the future. But if we do, the community needs to stop complaining about the stuff that we voted for. This is something that we all had a part into it, and not everyone's going to like it, but it is something that was the general consensus for the votes. So that's going to be all for me here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys wanted to watch my full time playing as and against the Judgment, I do have my VOD here on this channel in the live section. I have a playlist of all of my live streams I've done, and if you prefer to watch it on Twitch, it will be around for the next, it's what, 30 days to a couple months? I don't remember how Twitch VOD tracking works, but you can go ahead and watch my entire stream of me playing as and against the Judgment. I had a lot of fun. It was really cool. I'm not sure if I'm going to check out the PTB on Tuesday or not, because I really do want to do Lights Out. We'll have to wait and see. But I did spend quite a lot of time over the weekends practicing Judgment and going against the Judgment off the stream. And I do really enjoy playing against her. So let me know, are these characters people you're interested in and excited for? Are you going to be maining Aurora? Are you going to be maining the Judgment? Are you going to try to be somebody who masters the Judgment's power and gets those crazy clips, get those TikTok mashups, you know? Please let me know down below. But if you're new around here, I make Dead by Daylight content. I do update videos. I do interviews with other content creators and all sorts of Dead by Daylight stuff. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, leave a like. And as always, I hope you all have a good morning, afternoon, and evening. Goodbye, everyone.